Welcome to Culture Summerside's Clothesline Theatre. We have been waiting for you to tune in to hear tales of Prince Edward Island, a place of history and some mystery. You may be surprised by the true stories that have been unearthed and brought to life by our radio dramas. We invite you to settle into a comfortable chair and let the voices and sounds trigger your imagination as you hear the following dramatic story.
The people of the Maritimes have been shaped by the sea. Those who have turned to her for their living have known her as both friend and foe. No seaman leaves the shore without wondering if the sea will claim him as her own. But still they venture forth into the unknown. Summerside Captain Lester Beck, a master mariner with 35 years of experience in the year in which Queen Elizabeth came to the throne, was working in the engine room of the Charlottetown dragger, the Winnie Anne, fishing in the Atlantic off Yarmouth for the Yarmouth Cold Storage Company. On Wednesday, March 5th, 1952, the dragger was inbound when the drama at sea began. She was skippered by Captain Thomas Dodge of Mulgrave, Nova Scotia. Besides Beck, Raymond Thornhill of Fortune Bay, Newfoundland, and Joseph Bedell of unknown address rounded out the crew.
What do you think, Lester? Storm brewing?
I'd say by the feel of things, it's going to be a big one.
That's my gut feeling. Good job we're inbound. Let's just play the weather down with Raymond and Joseph. No sense of worrying them more than need be.
They've got an idea. The Yarmouth Cold Storage Company should be happy. The whole of the Winnie Anne is full to the gunnels.
It truly is amazing the haul this new way of fishing can harvest. Hope the day doesn't come we regret the change. But right now, the weather is our worry.
The Atlantic in early March is not to be taken lightly. But with you at the wheel and myself in the engine room, we'll do our best not to let her make us crab meat.
I feel the harbor is going to look mighty good to us.
The experienced seamen were right in their prediction. The weather turned quickly and cruelly. Blinding blizzard began to rage, sweeping a white wall of biting snow across the water, reducing visibility to nil. The seas began to swell as the winds climbed to hurricane force.
Raymond, get down to the engine room and help me.
What do you need, Captain Beck?
The engine's quit. We've got to find the problem and get it fixed. Time is against us. Send Joseph to tell Captain Dodge at the wheel.
Yes, sir. Be right back.
Captain Dodge, the engine's failed. Captain Beck and Raymond are working at it.
Why am I not surprised? Mother Nature is conspiring against us. We needed to put out a distress call, now.
But they might have the engine going in minutes.
We don't have minutes, Joseph. We need to get the call out now, while we have fairly accurate bearings. With these conditions and no engine, we're going to start bobbing like a cork on the seas. If anyone else is out there, they need to know now about us.
The Winnie Anne put out her distress call at 8 p.m. on Wednesday evening, March 5th, and thus began the lonely vigil of the 4 crew members.
I can't begin to hold her. The waves are leaping 40 to 50 feet high. She's tossing us about.
Well, the only thing that matters is that each time the waves take us down, we stay upright and climb back up with the crest.
Scared, Lester?
35 years at sea hasn't taken that away.
Tonight will prove if prayers get answered.
His ways are not ours.
Meanwhile, the captain and crew aboard the freighter Gladys E. Sweeney heard the radio call for help.
Captain Wilson, I just picked up a distress call from the dragger of the Winnie Anne. She was sailing towards Yarmouth when her engine failed. She was floundering in the storm.
Anyone responding to her call?
Nothing coming in. Looks like we're the closest to her.
It looks like us then. But with this visibility and wave power, the chances of finding her are slim. Change course.
The 4 men aboard the Winnie Anne clung to life through the long night as the hurricane-force winds whipped the water into mountainous seas. As the dragger was violently tossed about, they did what sailors have to do to show the elements of nature that they would not go down without a fight. Yet each moment was spent waiting for the jaws of death to claim them. But the Winnie Anne held her own against the seas, and when dawn broke, she was still riding the waves.
Even with the light, Captain, you still really can't see anything, can you?
You mean a rescue boat, Raymond? No. Between the driving snow and the spray, I can't see but a boat length. If a rescue ship is out there, she will be on us before we see her.
You just have to believe, boys. That help is near.
The hours of the morning dragged by with the helpless dragger drifting closer to the reefs off of Green Island. The waves were still 40 feet high when the Gladys E. Sweeney appeared out of the mist.
It's a ship! It's really a ship! But how will they get us off in these seas?
The same question was being asked aboard the Gladys E. Sweeney.
Captain Wilson, there's the Winnie Anne. I can see the crew. But with 40-foot seas, how are we going to rescue them?
Both the seas and time are against us. They are helplessly drifting towards the ledge off Green Island. There's no way we can get a life raft or a flotation to them.
I don't see any way we can help them.
We haven't fought this hard to let the sea claim them now. I'm going to try and take the freighter right in alongside of them and see if they can jump aboard her.
Captain Wilson, that would be almost impossible in calm seas. How do you think it can be done in 40-foot waves? It's suicide to even try such a thing.
You got any better ideas? We have to try. Now get the crew in place to pull those men off if I can get alongside the vessel.
If anybody can pull this off, it's you, Captain Wilson. The crew stands behind you.
Aboard the Winnie Anne, another danger is revealed.
By my calculations, we're only about 200 yards off the ledge of Green Island. We have to try and slow down our drifting before we're on it. Else the freighter has no chance of getting close to us with a life raft before we break up.
We need to try and calm the seas.
Does he think he's Jesus?
Boys, get the 5 barrels of oil on board. Open them and dump the oil over the side. The slick will help calm the seas around us.
Unbelievable! Look what he's doing.
The crew of the distressed vessel forgot their own troubles as they watched with amazement as the big freighter attempted to come in alongside them in the high mountainous seas.
He's trying to come right alongside us. He's got guts and seamanship.
There's no way that ship can be navigated safely through such treacherous water to come alongside us.
You can see the propellers of the freighter as she goes down at the bow. They could chew us up.
Death is coming.
Captain Wilson used every skill he ever knew to navigate the big Gladys E. Sweeney beside the Winnie Anne, but to no avail.
We're too far off of them, Captain. We can't reach them to pull them off, and then jumping into the sea is certain death.
Then we try it again.
The ledge is more the enemy now than the sea.
One more try.
After 20 minutes of what the crew aboard the Winnie Anne called the most skillful navigation imaginable, Captain Wilson again brought his ship alongside the Winnie Anne, and his crew moved into action.
Jump now!
Raymond, you first. Joseph will be right behind you. And then Lester.
Come on, Captain, jump!
Captain Dodge, true to the tradition of the sea, was the last man to leave his ship. He jumped, but missed the deck. The quick-witted Yarmouth seaman aboard the Gladys E. Sweeney seized Captain Dodge's arms as he started to fall towards the sea and pulled him onto the deck. They saved him from becoming crab meat.
They're all aboard. Let's get away from the reefs.
It's full speed ahead.
Gladys E. Sweeney moved away from the Winnie Anne. The dragger that had so valiantly fought the sea from Wednesday eve to Thursday noon succumbed to the ledge off Green Island. But her crew told for years to come of the kind of seamanship by the men of the Gladys E. Sweeney that you read about in stories, but seldom hear about in real life.
Disaster at Sea, the tale of the Winnie Anne. The introduction was by Lowell Eustis. The narrator was Stuart Smith. The actors were Paul McWilliams, Albert Goody, Thane Clark, David Smith, Roger Ahern, Brent Slater, and Justin Campbell. The musician was Christine Anderson Gallant. Foleys were Krista Carruthers, Alexandra Gallant, Jamie Webster, and Sabrina Webster. Recording artist was Peter Gallant. Scripts were written by Marlene Campbell. Scripts were researched by Jean McKay. Prop managers were Carol McFarlane and Sabrina Webster. The production was brought to you by Culture Summerside through the support of Canadian Heritage.